The Temprecord MonT2 Mini is a new product from Temprecord that fills a very nice niche. It is a one-time use logger, so it comes sealed in an FDA-approved plastic bag effectively, and when you're finished with the reader, so it's arrived at its location, one simply cuts off the end of the bag and remove the logger as such, and straight away we have effectively a USB drive, and on that USB drive will be a PDF file of all your data created straight away. Option 2 is to use the Temprecord software available from the Temprecord website, and again open it with the logger in place, and you can then do more things with the data, export to Excel, look at graphs, look at more detailed graphs, etc. And then the third mode of operation is the really clever one, using near field communication on an Android phone. One can read the data off the device while it's running without interrupting the recording. If we try to read the data using a PC, it will stop, and that's the end of the road for you. But with an Android phone, that's not the case. I'll show you some screenshots from both the Android reading and from the Temprecord.
So, if we want to read the data off the logger, there's a couple of ways we can do it. Firstly, if we just plug this into my PC, you will see the device will appear, and there we have a PDF straight away that the device has made automatically, and the logger now acts like a USB memory stick. So if we open this as a PDF, we'll see a graph, and we will see all the data as a PDF. Like so. If I scroll to the top, we can see that the unit has stopped. We can see a basic graph, and we can see the tabulated results over time. Now the other option we have is to use the built-in, to use the free software called Temprecord. So if I go to the computer and type in Temprecord 1.83, the software will come up like so, and now we can do rather more with it. If I hit the spacebar, which is on Temprecord software the universal refresh button, if you will, we can see that there's the logger attached that we're using. If we read the logger using the read button here, the information is read, and I can do things now like look at a graph, except that, look at a more detailed graph. I can export, I can do all sorts of things with it. So if I go export to PDF, export summary, export values to a spreadsheet. Let's export that graph for the sake of argument. And now we have I'll put it on my desktop. And if I go to the desktop, we will have a picture, graph PNG. And in the same way, I could have exported the data to XL, etc. Next, I will show you what the readout looks like when reading it from an Android phone.
So the last thing I'll show you is getting the data using the NFC chip on an Android phone. So if I simply select data loggers and I select Temprecord, if we place the reader on the logger, we can see this is the one that we cut open before. It's stopped because we've cut it open and we've read it on the computer, but we can read the logger and we can see again all the information And the difference being that if this logger had not been stopped, so we can see it as a PDF or as an Excel spreadsheet, but if we hadn't stopped the logger, like this is another one that's running live at the moment in our fridge, if I put that on there, we can see that it's actually running this one. The limits have been breached, but again, we can read it. So very simple on an Android phone. And again, we can see we've generated documents, and we can see that this unit is still logging. This is the one that we've been using here. So reading with the Android phone with the NFC does not interrupt the logging process.